Okay, let's move on towards week 1, day 1, match 2, game 1, first half of YS versus Wolves. We're going to be able to see D-Ball here coming out as confined space detention, followed up by a warp. From the survivor side as well, it's going to be a double window speed boost on towards that puppeteer and towards Acrobat, flywheel, and of course window speed boost on the Seer. That's going to be a wildling there with the Tide Turner. Okay, moving on straight towards the game. D-Ball here spawning on near towards the big rock corner. 487 though, who is 487 playing? We're going to be able to see 487 playing the Seer. Seer first kite against the Opera Singer early game actually isn't bad, but it seems like for D-Ball right now as well, we are going to be more or less looking at a very interesting settings here. It seems like for D-Ball right now, we're going to dash towards the direction in which the character is facing, so this is going to be a little bit of iffy for me. We did get the vault over there though, which was really nice, and with the vault over there in mind, YSD here, no, I will left on towards the Seer. Seer, I will still get used pretty early, but he can still tank 2 hits anyway, so that doesn't matter. Persona-wise, it's going to be Tron Confined Space Attention, followed up by... Ooh, that's a very nice vault over there. We're just waiting for the next 3 seconds, but even if we get the vault over here, the flywheel did come out, but I guess it didn't do much. The very first bait there was really good by the Opera Singer. Not by the Opera Singer, by the Seer, but I guess it just wasn't enough in that case scenario here. Seer not being able to rotate back towards his pallet nearby. Guess that would be the end of Seer. It's around a, 70-second containment. But I guess for Opera Singer, she could potentially use a warp like a Blink simply because of the fact that she can dash relatively fast as well. Okay then, what else are we going to be able to see here? We're going to be able to not see any 2 pallets being nearby anymore. For one elimination going up towards 24% and a tie here on towards 28.2%. Wilding here is possibly coming in for the rescue, but with 2.5 Cypher Machine decoding progress, it might be just a tiny bit slow. XMX here getting on straight towards the board right now. It's going to be an half rescue here for the Seer, but at least Wilding can stay on board for 50 seconds bare minimum. The only issue here is if it's a double down situation for after the rescue, then Cypher Machines might not be enough. Honestly, it just might not be enough. We are going to be able to get the normal hit right there as well. And it seems like Wilding falling down there immediately too. That's going to be the attack recovery animation finally on towards the Opera Singer. But with both survivors here currently on the run, Seer needs to go towards the other direction right now just so Wilding doesn't get a double down. It's currently around 2.5 Cypher Machine decoding progress here from the survivor side. We're missing 1 full Cypher Machine, but we also need to make sure that we need to get Wilding back at max health. For 487 here too, it seems like we will be eliminated. The tie game here is guaranteed at around 33%, but of course 4-man elimination is still not that far away as well. We are going to be able to see the warp here being ready. We do see Puppeteer D-King being nearby as well, who was playing for HHDG. But it seems like with the vault over there as well, survivors will be able to contain here for a relatively long time. But with the last Cypher Machine there on mind, the one who has to rescue is Wilding. But Wilding here back on towards the Cypher Machine. D-King using his Lil Lewis here a little bit early as well. But with that in mind, since there is no cooldown duration, you could just use it once again. So that's going to be 2 Lil Lewis there consumed by our Matthias, by our Puppeteer. And of course, that's a free kind of 30-second bots here anyways. Okay then, so for D-King here as well, we did get our last Lil Lewis out. Now then, with that Lil Lewis here in mind, Wilding here trying to finish off that Cypher Machine, and the Acrobat Yavi being nearby as well. Yavi was a Hunter main, but he transferred to Survivor, which I guess is fine. But with XMX getting back on towards the board right now, the only issue here is Puppeteer is kind of in danger, especially with Warp as well, right? I mean, we do know that, okay, we do know that Acrobat needs to be the one that comes to rescue, but then if we get a Warp out immediately and we get it towards Puppeteer, then that simply would just mean, it's not a good sign here for it honestly isn't a good sign here for Patir at all. Because with that 30% decoding progress, we are going to be able to feed Tinnitus here towards the Hunter, and I don't think Acrobat's going to be able to hide here for any longer. We did get out of the area immediately as well. We want to hide in between our red ball, and that was still a hit right over the pile, which is really unfortunate right there. Wiley not being able to get the board back up. There's still 22 seconds left on towards the clock right now, and for Acrobat here as well, it is just a... Ooh, that's a very nice mind game there with the pallet, but that's going to be another vault over. We did not get... Ooh, that's going to be a slow vault over, and that's going to be an immediate terror shock down. Okay, then, at least the Cypher Machine's prime. There is maybe a tie game scenario here, but one of the small issues might just be the fact that once you get the hit and you get the pop, Whiting getting on board immediately will get cancelled by the Opera. Okay, that's gonna be a terror shock hit. That's gonna be immediate pop, but Whiting also goes down there immediately. Whiting without any movement speed was Whiting. Oh, we're able to vault over that one as well. We do have Warp ready to go, but for Debo right now, we want to go after Acrobat instead, which means that Whiting just needs to get the gate open from the other side of the map right now. Why am I saying this? Because of the fact that Whiting doesn't really have any items left on his hands to use. Acrobat there still having balls on his hands as well. He can definitely jump over the moment the Opera Singer decided to Shadow Dance over. With 2 exit gates here, one fully done, the other one at 60%. It seems like Acrobat is going to be able to buy just about enough time here for the survivors to get at least a tie game. So let's congratulate YSD here for, you know, for that tie. Let's congratulate YSD here for that tie, moving on straight towards second half. Okay, on towards second half of Game 1 Week 1 Day 1 Match 2. We're going to be able to see YS here versus Wolves. It's going to be YYK, Drop, Lion, and Mawim. There's going to be trouble with those speedways here, but we just need to realize that Perfumer also has Flywheel too without borrowed time. So why deciding to go Confined Space Detention alongside with Blink? Okay, and towards the game we go. Toy here spawning by Factory Rune. Seems like we are going to be looking for... We're going to be going straight a little bit closely towards middle here. Acrobat YYK spawning in Factory, and then there's going to be Lion here a little bit closely towards the middle as well. We could potentially go after First Officer first, but it seems like for Opera Singer right now, after getting rid of that pallet in middle, we want to go for the Acrobat here instead. With the Acrobat here, I guess the 60-second containment is kind of guaranteed, especially with that window as well. You can drop down a snowball if you want to, or even just a fireball to cancel everything out. I feel like if it was me right there, I would have just used a snowball just so Opera Singer vaults over slowly. But I guess Fireball was the only thing on his hands right now, so there was nothing else you can do in that situation too. While Kate still though, trying to contain for as long as possible right there. We did not get a hit right over the pallet. That's a very beautiful pallet drop down, and another snowball vault over. That's going to be the teleportation over towards the other side, but sadly Toy teleported a little bit too far away with that immediate hit, followed up by a pallet stun right there. That was quite a bit of an even exchange here from both the Survivor and the Hunter side. We're going to be able to see that mobile being deployed down as well. There is also Blink here currently being utilized, and it is going to be a 75-second down. From the Cypher Machine point of view right now, we're going to be able to finish one Cypher Machine with 2 other Cypher Machines at 50% on average. Is this slow? Yes, it is just a little bit slow, but even if it's that tiny bit slow, it's fine. Acrobat kind of did what he had to do, and now it's really just up towards the survivors on whether we can get this tie turner out or not. Preferably speaking, against Opera Singer, you would like 2 tie turners, but it seems like for most of the CN teams we're watching recently, it's one tie turner at best. Well, from the previous game, GG versus TE, they did have 2 tie turners on the First Officer and Explorer, but sadly Explorer couldn't get that tie turner out, which is quite a bit of an issue. Okay then, with Acrobat going after half here, there's going to be 2.5 Cypher Machines done as well. We are going to have a little bit of a lag here from the stream, so there's nothing I can do about that, sorry. And Lion would get the immediate hit here as well, but it seems like we should at least be able to make it towards the chair. Double down situation is going to be quite necessary here. Who's the one nearby? YYK is the one nearby running towards Opera Singer right now, but I guess we're going to be able to allow our first officer to rotate away as well pretty safely. Pretty safely. We do a blink in the next 66 seconds. Acrobat going down here towards the corner. We're going to be able to get the pick up here and immediate drop down. But of course, with at least one full cipher machine remaining on the clock. Lion trying to hide away instead of decoding off a cipher machine, cause there's really not that much cipher machine within first officer's vicinity as well. What else do we have here? We are going to be able to see Tong Ai, which we are going to be able to see Tong Ai here dashing in towards this area immediately as well. That's going to be the pallet drop down. But even with the pallet drop down there on mind, Mawem here as the magician, 3 wands should be more than enough. We already finished our 4th cipher machine here as well at 81%. The last cipher shouldn't really take that much time. We are going to be able to see first officer here successfully rotating back towards factory. But of course with the magician here, no flywheel, just window speed boost. But of course the window speed boost is still in cooldown. It is just a little bit of a waiting game. That's going to be the TP over towards the other side too. We are going to waste just a little bit, and that's a very beautiful one. But if it wasn't for the full slow ball over, we definitely could have contained for even longer. For Tong Ai right there, 8-second cooldown on towards her shadow dash. But like, I mean, you kind of dash towards the same shadow strikes that you place down on the ground. So, oh well, what can we do? Okay then, Lion on the other side though, he does have 1 item remaining on his hands. But that also means that for Perfumer, we either start a cipher machine, just so Magician can go over and finish that cipher machine, or, you know, the opposite way around. We did get the teleportation back here as well, with Mao and trying to crawl away from this area as much as possible. Tong Ai here as well, trying to hurry up to chair this Magician, just in case Magician self-heals. That's going to be the vault over towards the other side. Perfumer with a bottle of with 3 bottles of perfume and a rugby ball. Seems like we decided to place down the rugby ball a little bit closely towards middle where everyone can gain access. And without a trump card here, it is going to be quite hard. And I repeat, quite hard for what? Quite hard for Opera Center to actually map control. We're going to go straight towards first officer here though, in which we're going to be near the prime cipher machine. Since we don't really have that much items left, we don't necessarily need to use blink just yet, especially against the first officer without any items. And it seems like first officer will be going down here immediately anyways. Now the magician starting the last cipher machine, first officer here with no items remaining. The best case scenario here is for us to chair first officer instead of magician. Why? We don't have window, we don't have knee-jerk reflex, we don't have flywheel, we don't have pocket watches, we have nothing for endgame. So for right now, we could potentially get a blink down immediately right after we get a hit, and then look after for whoever's near the exit gates. But of course, Perfumer trying to make her way in here as well. We are going to be able to spot out Perfumer here too, but sadly Perfumer didn't really bring that rugby ball towards the first officer to pick up, which is what I felt like it was a little bit of an unfortunate situation for. Did we get a hit on towards the show? We didn't. We went over the pallet there, and it seems like we are going to be able to get the flywheel out from Perfumer at least. Perfumer without borrowed time here though. We could potentially go after Perfumer here instead. Very nicely done by Tong Ai. Tong Ai, that's going to be a double back there onto as a Perfumer. Perfumer still running her for life, but it doesn't seem like she'll be able to contain here for any longer. The next survivor that comes into rescue right now, if we can get the hit on towards Perfumer without self-heal. Lion has the body block here right after the rescue. But we did get the hit back. Quite far of a hit back right there. Perfume on towards the other side right now. We are going to be able to perfume back, but that doesn't really do much in our situation. We're going to be able to get the hit down there immediately. Lion running straight towards the other side of the map right now. We're deciding to chair off the Perfumer first, which is fine. Lion without much items here remaining, so I can also run towards the other side of the map right now, because we do know where the cipher machine popped, and we do know that it was near factory gate. With Lion here, footprints being able to spot out nearby, there is blink as well, so that means that the okay, we did manage to get the rugby ball there as well, and let's congratulate the tie game here for game 1. So I smiling there with the rugby ball, moving on straight towards. Okay, let's move on then. This is going to be week 1, day 1, match 3, game 1 first half. We're going to be able to see Donex's warp trait on towards the Opera Singer as well. It's going to be confined space detention and followed up by double survivors here with knee-jerk reflex on the lawyer and the patient, of course, with the anti-querying here. No self-heal, but we are going to be running Flowey alongside with the knee-jerk reflex as well. Okay, straight towards the game we go then. It's gonna be Dongxian spawning by the corner here close towards factory. We're gonna go straight towards the middle to look for the lawyer who is currently upstairs as well. Should be able to catch up towards this lawyer relatively fast, but I guess also we do need to realize that, you know, we did also bring warp tray for this one. Well, warp, I guess it's gonna be a little bit harder here for lawyer to actually loop around in factory, which is why lawyer decided to rotate out. We're gonna be able to get that pallet speed boost away as well. It's going to be confined space attention with nostalgic, berserker, and wanted order. But of course, the silver is a little bit unfortunate. We placed down the pallet on the wrong side, but even so, it's still 40 seconds in towards the game. Warp might be ready, but I don't think we're going to be needing to use it this early on. It's still just waiting for a little bit right now. We're going to see if we can win out into the mind games. Dongxian missing the dash over as well. We're going to have the vault over that window just so we can lock it. We did bring confined space as well. Let's not forget. But I guess in this case scenario, Lawyer still goes down in around 65 seconds. Overall, containment early game is really nicely done. But the basement being near factory though. So Lawyer kind of rotated out just because of factory basement as well. But I guess even if Lawyer did decide to stay in, it's just going to be one Donexus warp tray, and that's going to be a whole cancellation on towards that window vault for the Lawyer too. We're going to be able to get the Shadow Dance back here. Patient and anti-current rotating towards their own perspective cipher machines, but with the wanted order on the mercenary here, mercenary would have quite a little bit of a hard time to come into rescue as well. But it seems like we might actually be going for the full chair rescue, well, for the after half rescues here, as Nan is going to be able to move out towards the outer side of factory. We're going to miss the dash here once again. We do have Shadow Dance, but we didn't really get the hit over. There's still two elbow pads on towards mercenary side, but with our rescue remain here, I guess two elbow pads will be consumed to get the rescue on towards lawyer. And of course for lawyer right now, it really is just how long can we stall before our cipher machines are going to be done. The next overall early game 65 seconds down is not too bad, but like with the survivors, decoding speed and all, 60 seconds might be just a little bit too much sometimes as well. Lawyer downing a little bit of a harder area to down in, and of course the lawyer going down here, we definitely won't be cheering in towards basement, but also it seems like we want to consume this chair here. So the moment we eliminate lawyer here, this chair will be nullified. That's going to be the warp trade out immediately looking for the mercenary. We definitely should be able to see mercenary nearby the footprints here. Very nicely done by Donex being able to spot it out, but of course Nan tanking that hit. There is only 50% cipher machine remaining right now, but it seems like Donex is going to go out instead of wanting to chair the mercenary. So this simply just means that we want to stop the cipher machine here as much as possible. Yes, it does look like there's 4 cipher machines left, but the other 3 are currently primed and another one at 50%. That's going to be Cheng here, which that normally hits as the patient. We definitely need to get the hookup here, and with the hookup here on mine too, Donex just deciding to go back towards the mercenary, but he might be going towards the wrong direction here. Can we find the mercenary? Yes, we can. Mercenary being able to get the pickup here. There definitely is an anti-crit who can come in towards the rescue as well, but I guess with the cipher machine, we're not missing too much. There is a 58% cipher machine somewhere, but I guess patient is just a bit too worried to decode that. Well, we're going to start a completely new cipher machine. We don't have tinnitus here just yet, as anti-current is a little bit further away, but the backdoor rescue here definitely could be possible. We want to go after Tsunzai here instead, who is going to be playing the patient, and with a patient next chase here immediately, that's going to teleportation back from Shadow Dance, but doesn't seem like it's enough here for Donex, because anti-current is already making her way towards the back. Backdoor rescue is successfully done here by the anti-mercenary, with still 1 elbow pad left on his hands, and we don't really have that much cipher machines left on the survivor side. Even if mercenary takes this hit, he doesn't really go down immediately as well. Anti being able to come to rescue for the second time, not having borrowed time here is honestly pretty good. Well, not getting no damage rescue without borrowed time here really is pretty good. But now we're just going to try to play as much mind games here as possible. That's a very nice, very nice flywheel just to counter the hit. But it seems like it's just going to be one warp trade over, 185% cipher machine near towards the patient. But it seemed like the patient was able to get out pretty safely there as well. We want to do as much damage control as possible. We've talked about this multiple times, but it also looks like for Tun right now, he is going to have to double back himself. There's still shadows left for Ivy here to use. The moment we vault over that is the moment that we shadow dance back, but it seems like we did it just a tiny bit too early. With the last cipher there at 85%, we didn't get the hit over the pallet there. Sounds like kind of moved a little bit further back, And utilizing that time as well, we did manage to get a beautiful pallet stun. Now then, patient still just waiting on a little bit. We're able to get the patient down, patient with no items remaining. We do have a basement as well, so we can definitely try to charging towards this basement too. Dongshen, we do see the basement, but we decided not to go inside the basement. With Tonsai here as the antiquarian. I mean, like, if we decide to full chase the anti-current here, 18 second disarm is more than enough for Mercenary to rescue and get the Cypher Machine done, but it seems like we didn't really get much there from Tundai Sally. That's quite a lot of flutes they're used, with only one flute remaining left on anti-current's hands. I guess for Donex, he might have realized that this is anti-current without borrowed time. We're gonna be able to get it there anyways. And of course, Mercenary on the run alongside with the patient. Their patient going back towards his 85% Cypher Machine. We definitely will be able to get the Cypher Machine prime, but the moment if we target the anti-current down, then that means Mercenary's rescue is going to be inevitable. Mercenary's rescue is going to be in vain. We also do need to realize that anti-current does not have borrowed time, so there's something there to keep in mind as well. We're going to be able to get to hit on towards Mercenary here immediately. We definitely have to pop the Cypher Machine a little bit early as well, but it seems like we're going to change targets here for Mercy instead. The Cypher Machine is going to be popped open here immediately. Sadly, we didn't get the Shadow Strike out. We're going to be able to teleport back immediately here as well. We do have a warp here on the hands, but it seems like Nan knows this as well, which is why we're going to down a little bit further away from this area. Didn't get hit right over the pallet. That's fine. That's going to be a pallet drop down, but it seems like that's going to be a Terror Shock down. And Tanzai on towards the other side of the gate right now. We're going to be able to get warp out here immediately, but that's only halfway across the map. Might just not be enough here. And going back towards the anti-current, I guess there's two good things about going back towards anti-current. We're able to leave trails behind. Meanwhile, we dash back to chair Mercenary, who has been chaired before, right? And I'm quite sure we won't be able to utilize the warp here anymore right after this, but it is what it is. To be able to get a pickup on the chair here, and with the next 15 seconds, if we can make it towards the grate, that'll be great. But it is still anti-current at the end of the day we're talking about. We're going a little bit closely towards factory here, in which that's where patient is, but patient with no hooks remaining on his hands as well. Seems like we're going to rotate towards where anti-current is, and anti-current is rushing away from this area as fast as she can. There's no way that anti-current can get the gate open on time though, especially with the slow gate debuff. But of course, with the patient being found out here immediately, we are going to be able to get someone down. That's going to be a 3-man elimination guaranteed for Donex. And anti-current, the only last thing left on her options to actually just to get the gate open, because if she doesn't, then that's not going to be the best case scenario. With 57% gate opening, with 57% gate progress, I think it takes at least around 15 more seconds for the gate to be open, so anti-current kind of declared that she wouldn't be able to get it open on time. But with anti-current going down here, no self-heal by the way on the anti-current compared to the patient. Patient 70% self-heal. Anti-current was on chair before as well. We don't really see a chair nearby just yet, but I guess the anti-current here has to be chaired regardless of what happens. There is still 20 odd seconds left on the clock here for warp, but like we still need to understand that Donex doesn't know, but we know that there is no big heart here. There's no self-heal here on towards the anti, so that's just the unfortunate part of it all. Seems like for Tonsai here we're going to be able to see the footprints anyways, and let's just see. I'm just gonna see. We're still looping around the map, but let's just congratulate Donex here for the 4-man elimination then, shall we? Let's move on towards second half of game 1. It's going to be Opera here with Trunkard Detention alongside with Blink. We're going to be able to see Sisiael here with 1 borrowed time. And of course, triple window speed boost here from Survivor. Just need to note that it's going to be Flywheel on the Puppeteer instead of borrowed time. Okay, moving back on towards the game, it's going to be TZYM coming out from Do. TZYM did migrate from HHDG, just like D King towards Wolf, but with this in mind as well, I say first chase here being Puppeteer, we vaulted out here immediately, which is a little bit more surprising from Sans' side note. That vault out, it's a little bit risky there, but that definitely could have been the terror shock. I guess TZYM didn't even realize that himself too, but we did get a very early first hit as well. Going to be able to get a teleportation back here with Shadow Dance, but that's going to just be another little Lewis for us to rotate towards the next pallet slash window. It seems like we're going to utilize this pallet and trying to pull a bit of distance between himself and the Opera Singer, but even with the Opera Singer here, you know, we thought that we were going to be playing pallet mind games there with that one pallet, but there is no chance for this Puppeteer to actually play around with you. Sans is playing Puppeteer really well like a perfumer. All these little Lewises are almost instant hit, but we did expend those pretty fast as well, which might be a bit of an issue. We don't have the Shadow Dance teleportation over anymore, and right now it really is just, ooh, beautiful flywheel, how long we can contain. It's currently 65 seconds in towards the game. We did get a teleportation over. We did miss the hit here once again, and that's going to be the Blink Force out here from the Puppeteer. That is very, very, very nicely done there from Sans, by the way. These are some risky moves. We are going not to be able to see, we're not going to be able to see basement. And I guess, honestly, from Opera Singer side, it is kind of a loss on that side note as well. Because Sans did make quite a bit of a mistake on vaulting out straight towards the Hunter's face when Opera Singer was running straight towards her, but I guess currently it is what it is. We're currently still trying to look around here for as much as possible. So just trying to get a little bit more here. We're going to be able to get that normal hit there as well. We're just going to wait, we're going to wait, but it seems like we are going to be able to get the rescue really soon. That's going to be an after half rescue, which is the unfortunate part. I played a little bit too much mind games there, but wish almost 3 Cypher Machine done at least. We probably can still see a tie game here. Donex did definitely get a tie game last game, but right now in this case scenario, it seems like the Puppeteer wants to go up towards 2-story as fast as we can, because we just want the Gardener to harass for us. But it seems like Gardener did get rid of the chair downstairs. We do see the Gardener currently nearby as well, but I think her footprints will also be seen by TCYM here, who is the Opera Singer. Opera going back upstairs right now. Meanwhile, Gardener is going over to Gardener is getting rid of the chair, right? Okay, Gardener is going to be able to get rid of the chair here. After the chair has been dismantled, it will be a 10-second cooldown. Seems like we change entire chairs here immediately too. Is that chair... No, that chair is fully safe. Okay, at least that chair is fully safe. That's kind of the good news here. So with that in mind, now we know there's a lot of things to keep in mind. And Fulan Cypher Machine at 63%. The only issue now is how can we rotate away from this area? We're definitely going to be forced to tank a normal hit. But after we take the normal hit, we need to make sure we know where we actually take that normal hit. Because I know I say normal hit a lot, but you know, it really is just, hey, I take the normal hit, I need to rotate straight towards factory. I can't give him 2 hits. That's the thing right now. And Fulan seems like he's going to be able to find his opportunity right here as well. The window is currently nearby, but Opera Singer is still pretty fast. That's why I'm changing towards teleport there as well. With the last Cypher Machine there remaining, and with Gardener being able to heal up the Wildling there too. Wildling going towards the 63% Cypher Machine, but it seems like we're changing targets here once again, getting up towards the staircase here as well. And we might just be able to heal Psychologist here just on time as well. Oh, we're going to be able to see the Gardener towards the other side of the map right near Christmas tree, but that Cypher Machine probably won't be stopped anytime soon, as we do see 2 survivors in factory. If I am... No, there's only the Wildling in factory right now, so... Gardener wants... No, Psychologist wants to be healed by Gardener. There's TZon YMC's upstairs where Wildling is right now. Or are we just going to teleport out towards Gardener? Because we do have teleport. We can't really see anyone just yet, but there's a Cypher Machine shaking there though. We were a little bit worried that it would be the Wildling Cypher Machine, but it seems like after seeing the Wildling here, we could potentially teleport. Wildling getting on board there immediately as well. That's going to be Gardener Cypher Machine done there right after, you know, Psychologist, right after Psychologist first hit. But of course, being able to pop that Cypher Machine from the Gardener's point, oh no, from the, well, the Cypher Machines are around 24%, but with Psychologist going down here, it's going to be Gardener who's going to come in to rescue. Gardener trying to look for an item here for endgame, because one toolkit is not going to be enough. One toolkit and one bubble, it's just not going to be enough. We're going to be able to see that we're going to be able to chair a little bit closely towards where Wildling is. Wildling Cypher Machine 80%. By the time we probably TP over, it should be somewhere around 90. But Cecilia wants to play this safe. It also does seem so, because we don't want to get chaired near this area. And right after Gardner gets the rescue, we just have to make sure of two things. The first thing is that Psycho was able to rotate way far away from this last Prime Cypher Machine, and the second thing is Wildling is a little bit of a oofy situation. We can get Wildling on board. Yeah, Wildling's board is ready just on time here as well. Wish Fulan as the psychologist on the other side of the map, near towards Shaq here. We are going to be able to get a Cypher Machine started. And of course, Wish Wildling going back towards his own Cypher Machine. That is going to be a pretty decent progress here from FPX Survivor side. That's going to be a normal hit down there as well. But the Cypher Machine is primed. Gardner trying to open another chest. What did we get this time? We got an elbow pad, a little bit better compared to last time. With the Cypher Machine currently being popped here as well, Gardner's build trails will be revealed, but there is a pallet there which can aid Gardner for as long as she wants. Teleport is ready in around the next 10 seconds, but even so, I don't think Gardner will be utilizing that chair anytime soon. That's going to be the elbow pad away in between the pallet. And here is some pallet stuns. Bit unfortunate right there, but there's nothing we can do. If we got the Gardner down there, perhaps we could teleport. We're going to teleport straight towards Psycho right here, who gets in between the pallets. But sadly, we didn't get the hit between the pallet though. So with the psychologist going down right here, Gardner. Okay, we don't have shadows anymore, so should be able to open the gate here on time with 50%. That means there's 9 seconds left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the gate is open. So let's congratulate the tie game here from the Survivor side, unless Psycho is going to be able to get up and get out, but this doesn't seem like it'll be possible anymore. So let's just congratulate FPX for the win round game 1 of our third matchup today.